Well, hello everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me. As soon as I was starting the stream here, I started hearing a loud roaring outside. It seems that there's a thunderstorm moving through. And that popped up in like a minute and a half, because when I came down here to get started, there was no rain happening here at all. Even nothing on the way. Yeah, it's just, I'm looking at the radar right now and everything is just popping up around me. And north of me, there is a huge line of red just making its way across the southern part of Wisconsin, northern part of Illinois. That is crazy. So if you guys hear some ambient noise or the stream cuts out, you guys will know why. Alright, so, hey, there I am. I'm live. Oh, we may not have as much time tonight as usual, and it is 6 o'clock on the dot. I usually can't do that when I'm scrambling to get ready. I didn't know that I was going to stream tonight until very late, so that's just how it can be when I'm at work, so that's just going to be how it is for a little while. Before I forget to turn that on, get the stream going. How's everyone doing tonight? Looks like the chat's been pretty active without me. Sorry, I don't know if I'll have enough time to get back there and take a look here. OXO says, yep, looks like you can hear me then. Adrian, welcome to the stream. Walter, welcome to the stream as well. I saw someone else before. Mackenzie is always there, and OXO, you were here before too, so everyone's in and chatting and ready to go. So apologize for the late notice. Like I said, I didn't know I was going to be able to stream tonight. In the future, I may go ahead and post if I'm going to stream, and if I have to cancel, I'll just do it that way. That way, at least you guys have the link before things get going. I'm going to go ahead and press the correct button this time and start the first game. Not a lot of time to chat beforehand because I already had to do stuff here. So we're starting out with a golf game. This is Power Golf for the TurboGrafx 16. And this is a fairly cheap title. I have it complete in box, but everything that I'm playing tonight is off of the EverDrive. So basically, let's start the thing there. Man, it is really roaring out there. Can you guys hear that? It's like an ambient rumbling noise. I noticed at my last stream that I did, I actually played some GameCube games last Wednesday, and I noticed when I was watching the replay of the stream a little bit just to see the quality of it, that the exhaust fan for my GameCube was sitting, apparently it was sitting about a good 3 feet away from the microphone, and that was still too loud. The microphone was picking it up. So that's what that noise was, if you guys heard it tonight. It sounds like it's hailing. Like, that's the big thing. Like, that's starting to weird me out a little bit, just because. Let me look at my front door camera, because I'm too lazy to get up and. That's crazy. It was sunny when I came down here. It was like 10 minutes ago. And yeah, oh my gosh. So let's do live view. Sorry you guys can't see this, but yeah, it is coming down out there. It's so bad I can't even see across the street. This is like one of those storms that, yeah, and my sidewalk is completely flooded with water. Yeah, that is just crazy how things can get through this. Yes, everything that I have here is plugged into a surge protector. I have a battery backup plugged into everything on my setup, but my router and my modem is not hooked up to a battery backup at the moment. That is something I plan to do in the future. So if I do lose the stream, hopefully we can get back up real quick. Actually, the console's not on there either, but I'm gonna start playing this in just a second. Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know how much of that you can hear, but it sounds like something is pummeling the side of my house. Hey Joe, welcome to the stream. Said he would buy this just to pay Ease. Yep. I think Ease is the collection on CD. So that would be something you'd have to look at. I don't know how expensive it is, but I know the TurboGrafx CD is kind of up there. Hey Mackenzie, how are you doing as well? This past week, I have been doing, I've been doing well. I mean, I just got off of vacation, so I'm back at work. I had roughly 2 weeks of vacation, so it was nice just to get a break. I'm actually happy to be back, but it is busy, so I have to grade online work at night too. So thankfully, I was able to get caught up enough to where I could take a couple hours off to stream tonight. Good choice. Golf games are surprising fun. Got to get started with Great Golf on the Sega Master System. I was kind of surprised at how much I like Great Golf on the Master System, to be honest. Because I'm not, like, this perspective of game I like, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be more like Nintendo Golf, and it's actually better, but it takes a while to do that. Sound like the Blitz. LOL, yeah. The Blitzkrieg coming in. Hey, Pinekush, by the way, welcome to the stream. I didn't say that. Roger, welcome to the stream as well. Agreed, yep. Isn't Ease on the TurboGrafx Mini? Oh, you know what? That could be. I think you're right. That would be about the only way to play it, too, wouldn't it? Was Ease on the Master System, do you remember? Who was I just talking to about that? Roger? Or if anyone knows, you can answer that. I'm actually liking the way this golf game's looking, too. Alright, I am going to start it, though. Just stroke play. Male, female, or... What would you name that last one? It's got typical male, typical female, and golfing nerd? Yes, you do have it. Okay, I thought on the Master System. But does that include Ease 1 and 2, or just 1? Yes, Ease on the Master System is your favorite? Okay. Yeah, that's one that I didn't get for the Master System yet. Oh, God. Yeah, that's one I didn't get for the Master System yet, so I'm just going to go with that. And I don't know how many characters it's going to give me. P-L-A-Y-E-R. No space. So... Man. I'm assuming that's it. So can you have the computer play itself? I didn't even think about that. Sometimes I do that just so I can get a perspective of how it's supposed to be played. I should have looked up controls for this. One only? Okay. Ease the ideal utopia. Oh, that's nice, Mackenzie. Taking a week off at the end of August. Lately, you've just been working. Yeah, that was kind of my big deal. Is I have a lot of stuff to get done at work, so I was not taking, was not really wanting to take the time off. I don't see. Okay, wind direction. It looks like 6 meters coming at me, or is that 6 miles an hour? 6 meters an hour, 6 miles an hour. Think it's just not till Labor Day. Port workers don't get off for COVID. Yeah. You should take it off, though, before they start to... Well, I don't know. I guess they would close it down, but you still got to take in shipments, I'm sure. I don't know what I did there, but I doubt I did anything good. Okay, I think... Hold on. Let me try this again. Shot 2. I'm very confused. I feel like I have to tap the button twice, right? There we go. All right, so we're obviously going to restart this round. I'm just trying to learn the controls here. Shot 10, so that went out of bounds. All right. Is there a mercy rule here? Oh my gosh. Yep, there's a mercy rule. Okay. So obviously this is a test run. We're gonna have to figure out how this is. When you were your age, when I was your age, we had to walk 10 miles to play Ease in the snow, uphill both ways. I'm sure, Roger. Yep, player one, ships from China with steel coils. Yikes. Yeah. Hopefully then you'll be unpacking my PS5 and hopefully the Switches when they come in, right? I got a friend who he decided, oh, that's going to go out of bounds too. Nope, in the tree. At least, hey, we got a shot I can play from. So the thing that's going to take a while to get used to is just how fast I have to click that button. Man. That's going to go out of bounds. Yeah, that's not a shot I can play. Is there a penalty stroke? I think so. Takes a while to go back to your... It's still going to curve. Out of bounds? Oh, of course. I think this is going to be a good experience overall because the control scheme isn't that hard to learn, but it's difficult to master that timing. Okay. My goal is to finish one of these holes. Oh my gosh, that's going to be way too far. Way too far. So the problem is there a way to get a mulligan? Is there a way to cancel a shot once I started? Oh my gosh, that went too quick. So that wasted a shot. I was like trying to... Do I need to turn the turbo on? There we go. It's at least going to go over the green and into the bunker. Wow. Mercy rule? Nope. Oh, okay. It's not automatically switching my clubs. But I don't know how far each club's going to go. Pitching wedge? That's way too hard. One bunker into the other? Off 101 yards. Give up, yep. Oh my gosh. Yes, he uses only book one. Paul, welcome to the stream if I haven't mentioned you yet. Yeah, 1 and 2 is on the CD. Yeah, but it is on the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Well, that's got to make it worth it alone. Because just to track down the CD itself is going to be prohibitively expensive. Oh, thanks, Mackenzie. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's kind of a high price on ColecoVision. As I said before, I was trying to... let's see what this does. I was trying to get a return to... Yeah, that's not going to work. And I'll see if I can improve this shot, and then I'll talk. Oh, that's too... the other way. Like I said, it's creating like anxiety. I'm trying to. I can only imagine what would happen if I turned on the turbo. Okay, it's not a terrible shot. Just land before. Nope, too far. All right, I should change from 1 wood to the 3 wood. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. Better shot on the green. Oh, just off the green. Oh, right in the bunker. All right, but I was gonna say I was hoping you guys would enjoy the ColecoVision video because I got some mixed reviews, let's say, from the Mac project, and I thought that was a video that was supposed to come out later because I was trying to release the videos in the order that I made them. I made a lot of videos over quarantine, so I'm good for at least the next couple weeks. So, but I thought I would release that one just because it's been so long since I've released a game review video. Sand wedge, that's okay. That's what I want. Onto the green at least. Oh, look at that. Oh, it would have been great if I could chipped it in. It's not hot shots golf, but it will do. So yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, that is too much for a ColecoVision. I think I got mine imported. Mine is from Canada. So I got mine imported from Canada for less than $80. It came with a few games, but not very many, like maybe 3 games, and they were just like whatever titles. Sells them 2 for $5. Yeah, a lot of the places I go to, they sell them for either 99 cents or whatever. Oh, thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Master System versus NES versus Atari was amazing. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I made the Master System video. I was new to that system, and I really thought to myself, "Oh, okay, hang on. Still learning this." One more shot, and I would have got it. I'm still learning how to play the game. I think by the time I'm done, I will get at least 1 hole correct. But yeah, I was gonna say that's part of the reason why I thought it was out there. I felt for sure that there was like an all-encompassing review missing from the Master System. There's a lot of people who have just skipped over it. And I'm talking specifically about how can I just cancel a shot? Really, that's one thing that's missing. I wish I can cancel a shot if I just... There we go. But I'm sure that'd be considered cheating. That's already... And I don't know which way I'm going to swing it the wrong way. That was just slightly off, I felt like, and that veered completely out of the way. That's going to go. Okay. Now we're going the other direction. That said, you've never seen a ColecoVision console there? Oh, okay. I think people take some stuff too seriously. I personally thought your Macintosh Pro 3 was a lot of fun. Hey, I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was like I said, it was something I was always wanting to try on this channel. And I realized that the farther I go along, the less I'll be able to experiment. Look at that! I felt like that should have been at least towards the rough. You have to be spot on with this. Maybe I'm not going to like this game so much. At least the music's catchy. There we go. Perfect shot. Now it's going to go in the water, I bet. Who would have thought? Alright, so... Oh, at least I got a drop. Now I got to try that all over again. 3 wood. That's going to curve. Yeah, that is way too... For how quick you got to do that, that's going to be a give up. No! How many shots is it going to give me for a par 5? Yeah. For how fast that goes, it's very unforgiving. That's why I said I'm only like 4 or 5 off, and that did the same amount of veering as it did when I was completely off. Yeah. Maybe I won't get through a hole, but we're going to keep trying. But yeah, I know the farther I go along, the less likely I'll be able to stray away from content that people like. I mean, I definitely want to do stuff that people will watch and enjoy, but there's, I mean, I'm always going to keep experimenting. I'm always going to try to do something a little bit different. But to tell you the truth, as much time and effort and money as that project took, I won't be able to do a project like that too often. So I have some other projects in mind that I want to do in the future that'll definitely happen, but it'll be definitely spaced out since I'm, like I said, out of time, out of money, and there are some other things that I want to get done beforehand. There we go. Finally. That timing is just hard to judge. Did I hear about Sega Astro City Mini as a tiny arcade cabinet? I don't think I've heard about that, Paul. Where's that from? Like, is that something that's coming out? Or something that they already did? Sega's Astro City Mini is a tiny arcade cabinet. I don't think I've heard of that. I said the Master System was personally the winner. I was like, Anakin, this isn't right. It's just not fair. Not just messing with you. Yeah, I know. It was part of the reason why, I don't know. I mean, the biggest reason why I picked that over, not the biggest. I don't want to ruin it by, I'll let you guys interpret why I think that one's the best based on the video I did. That's still too much. This game is really meant to get you to try to memorize which clubs do I use, try to figure out the timing each time. That's going to go out of bounds still too. No, it's not. Do you think, is this going to be the one where I finally try to get it in the hole? We're definitely do the sandwich. Whew! That was too powerful. Alright, well, let's try it now. Now we're on the green. Alright, it looks like I may get one shot at this. Two shots? Come on. Okay. So this is like Happy Gilmore. Just tap it in. Are you kidding me? Is this going to be a give up? No. I got one more shot. There we go. Whew. Took me 5 holes, but I finally got it in the hole somewhere. This is the most fun I ever had with a golf game was one time me and a friend played the Tiger Woods games. Oh yeah, my brother and I used to play Tiger Woods '08 on the PS3 because after he moved out, that was like the game we played for the most part. And I really love that game. In fact, I miss some of the features that were not included in other games that are in that game. Plug and play golf game looked interesting that I had a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's Golden Tee. Golden Tee is my favorite golf game for the arcade. Oh, this is going to be tough. Oh. Okay. I really feel like I should be switching to the 3-wood. Let's do that. There we go. I can't do that again if I tried. And if I hadn't gone out of bounds, that would have been a hole-in-one. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad I got that on the stream. Alright, let's catch up on comments here. ColecoVision video was good. ColecoVision Mr. Do is a must-own. Oh, yeah. There are some games, like I said, I can definitely do a part 2 on that. I'm not doing it ranked, but I really feel like... I don't know. It all came down to I said 10 games, so just because I didn't include a game doesn't mean I think that that game is not worthy of being on the list. It's just, personally, what would I recommend to someone who's just trying it out or just starting with it? That'd be a good one. Yep. Great golf on the Master System player. Take a shot in the middle of the woods. Out of bounds. Yeah. Yeah, that game is a bit brutal in that respect. Can't remember if you can do mulligans in that game, though. Hey, Scott424, you have a TG16. Awesome. Yep, it's definitely. I'm definitely glad that I'm able to get acquainted with this system. I just wish it didn't cost the amount of money that it did to get started on it. That's gonna be. Oh, couldn't do that again if I tried. This system definitely adds some charm. And I'm trying to think what I would have thought about this back in the day. I'm going to need to do a smaller club. Like when I was all Super Nintendo and Sega back in the mid-90s, this would have been... I think I'm getting better. I don't know how, but I'm getting better. This reminds me of the Wii Sports Resort hole. Anybody else get that impression from the islands and the lakes? Oh, that's too hard. Or not hard enough. Ha! That was a hop, skip, and a fun time there. For birdie, holy cow, I'm going to have to concentrate here. Hold on, I'm missing some comments here. At the end of the day, you can all agree if you like something or not. If it was a commercial success or flop, yeah, it's all that you like doesn't matter. Yep. Thanks for that. I'm assuming that's for the hole-in-one since I missed some. Yeah, I got the par. Is this Golden Tee? No, this is actually this is Power Golf on the TurboGrafx 16. So you saw the NES and you thought, nothing better than the ColecoVision could get. That's an interesting perspective. I don't know anyone from my generation who grew up with the Nintendo that would have had that perspective. That is interesting. I need the trackball. The trackball for which one? For the for this game specifically? Or are you referring to something else? By the way, welcome to the stream, Julius. Use the classic Wii Sports method, yeah. Sega's Astro City Mini released in Japan. Okay, so Japan exclusive. That's interesting. I'm always interested to learn about arcade hardware, but before I start collecting things from Japan, this is just my personal perspective on it, I guess. So that was definitely, I could tell that was going nowhere. It was going nowhere. It was going nowhere fast. Oh, that was close. I had it for birdie, and now I'm gonna barely make par. Feel like this way would be good. There we go. Oh no, it's bogey, because that was my 5th shot already. At least I got 1 par. I'm happy with that. It comes with 36 games. Wow. Golden Axe is a good one. The Revenge of Death Adder. Virtua Fighter? That's interesting. Huh, I'll have to look at that. You definitely piqued my interest on that. Had the same thoughts when you first saw the NES. It wasn't better than ColecoVision. Then Tetris came out, and that's all you wanted. Yeah, Nintendo definitely had the games. Although, which version of Tetris are you referring to? Are you referring to the Atari Tengen version? Come on, stay in bounds. Or are you referring to the Nintendo's actual version? Because I actually never played the Atari version of Tetris until I started collecting games. Why did it stop moving? That was crazy. Oh, you know what? I'll go back. There we go. 3-wood. Oh, it's because of the trees, and there's no. I don't have any depth perception. So I feel like, of course, I had the shot right. I was expecting to mess up the shot, and I thought for sure I would be able to go around, but whatever. Now I'm going to mess up the shot. Curve the other way. Curve the other way. There we go. Worked out video rental parts of... What's Farmore in college? I would rent games on the weekend to play with friends. Oh, yeah. Did you ever hold them behind the counter so that so that people couldn't rent them and you could get the game that you wanted? That's something that I don't think that very many kids today actually appreciate at all, is the fact that there was times we would go to the store and we would not be able to get the game that we wanted, so we would just get whatever games were in stock. That's probably how I played a majority of games as a kid. There was only like 2 or 3 games that I really wanted to play, but the reason why I didn't play very many was because, the reason why I ended up playing more than I wanted to was due to the fact that it wasn't in stock at the video rental store. I remember playing the heck out of Inspector Gadget because that game was in all the time on Super Nintendo, and that game, man, I'm not doing so good on the putting. I personally enjoy the game, but I agree it is not that good of a game. The controls are just wonky, but I got used to it. There was another game. There was a Flintstones game for the Super Nintendo that I really liked playing. That's another game that was like, well, I like the Flintstones, but Donkey Kong Country's not in, so I guess I'll go and get ahead and get that game. When I was a kid, seeing Gran Turismo 3 for the PS2 for the first time made your jaw hit the ground. Oh yeah, imagine when I saw the first Gran Turismo on the PlayStation. I remember thinking that was before the Dreamcast came out, but I remember thinking that the photos were doctored. Yeah, that's going out of bounds. Because still images, which that's what I saw before anything else, because on the internet there was no video streaming to speak of that could show gameplay footage, so all the still images of Gran Turismo 1 looked amazing on the PlayStation. Okay, I'm just slightly off, so at least we're gonna get down the fairway. I'm not getting any better at the drive of it. Not that I expect to so quickly, but I feel like it's just because of that timing issue that I'm having. And of course, I'm not paying attention, so I used the wrong one. Hey Tex, welcome to the stream. Love the TurboGrafx 16, only had 3 games for it back in the day. Splatterhouse, not bad. Ninja Spirit, I actually ended up enjoying that game so far. And Legendary Axe, I feel sad for you. Actually, not really. That game would offer a lot of replay value because you're going to spend a long time trying to figure out how to beat it. I had a hard time getting past the first level of that game. And it left a impression on me, but I can see why it would win a Game of the Year award back then. It's definitely not a game you're going to finish in 5 seconds. What in the world am I doing? I think I'm just going to try to... Oh, that was not good at all. Alright, let's get a give up. No give up. I gotta get this in one shot. Are you ready? That's still too hard. And I went over the green again. Come on. Is it a give up? Yeah. Wow. As a dumb kid, I kept trying out... I kept taking out Lego Rock Band from the library because it was Lego. Despite there being no controller. You could take it, get it home, figure it, realize you can't play it, take it, forget, repeat. Oh my gosh. I thought for sure, couldn't you play Rock Band with a regular controller? Or was that just Lego Rock Band, you couldn't do that? Because the studio that made all those, I would love to do a video on the history of that sometime, because there's a lot of people who I know that played that game that, oh, stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. Now I'm going to hit that tree. Who had no idea that that was not their first game. Harmonix was making music rhythm style games, as they called them, long before that, and they were actually, you had to use the controller to play them. One was called Amplitude, and the other one was called Frequency. And I think they even did something before that, but those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. Because when Rock Band came out, a friend of mine brought that over to see if I would enjoy playing it, because they thought I was instantly good at Rock Band. They were trying to throw me off. I ended up liking the game, but it was like a... Oops, trying to... I just don't know what to do here. I can't use my 9-iron because... Yeah, I have to be so quick on that button. May sound weird, but as a 24-year-old, I still get amazed with graphics on old systems. Oh, don't get me wrong. You probably heard me say something about the Genesis before. I've been very amazed at the graphics that people are able to get out of that system, especially if you see the tech demos. Yeah, definitely have aged. The first generation of 3D games, that's why I keep telling people that PS1 backwards compatibility went away. Oh man, I'm really afraid to let that bar go well across the screen. There we go. That would have been par. Definitely get it now. A lot of people tried to tell me that Keith Courage was not a good launch title, and now that I've played it, I agree, and I see why. Oh, it's going to go in the lake. Well, at least it's not out of bounds. At least I'll get a drop. Yeah. That's going to go out of bounds. At first, I thought people were going to say it wasn't a good launch title because that's going in the water too. Drop from that side? No! I got to do this shot again. Yeah. It's kind of shaped like England, isn't it? The England side of the UK? Where did I just land if that's the England side of the UK? The fact that it doesn't automatically switch my club just means I'm spoiled. That keeps throwing me off. I'm on the green. It's a par 3. I'm at shot 8. I think it's going to give me 10 shots altogether. I'm going to let this go. And yeah. See, that's what I didn't want to do. I can't win. Especially when I only get one shot on the green. They just had to keep me going somehow. I don't. I won't go as far as that, Pine Kush, but I agree with what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying, but just say that I don't think it was a terrible generation. It was experimental, but it just depends on the game. Some games have aged very well, in my opinion. I guess in my humble opinion, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, phenomenal, and I think even though the graphics didn't age as well, the gameplay made it so solid you're willing to go back to it. Mario 64 did a lot of things right, but yes, it needed some improvement. I think that the console that seemed the most experimental when they should have been getting it right was the Dreamcast. I remember I loved Sonic Adventure back in the day, and I really thought, man, this is going to be considered one of the greatest games of all time. And 5 years later, I looked back on it, and I was like, oh man, this game had a lot right, but it did a lot wrong, too. Oh, don't go in the lake. Okay. So, the biggest thing is the cutscenes, and the camera's still wonky. It feels like they should have got that figured out by the time the Dreamcast came out. Again, another one of my humble opinions. But you'll see stuff like that all the time, even still to this day, and why am I using the 3-wood then, if that's all it's going to do? There's a lot of frustration with this game. I'm not doing so well. I'm going to put the computer on this and see if it'll play itself when I'm done, and just to see what it looks like when you... Just not clearing the trees. Alright. Lake? Go on. Go in the lake. Give me a drop. Don't make me make that shot again. Okay. Do I get a shot? Okay, I get a shot putting. It looks like I only get one shot. Oh, just barely missed it. Oh, I got another shot. Wait, Robin gets another shot. If you guys can get what movie that's from just based on that quote, then you are a bigger movie nerd than me sometimes. What movie is that from where he goes, wait, Robin gets another shot? Through the eyes of someone that lived through the PS1 games, I'll say those graphics are pretty amazing compared to the generation before. Well, absolutely, especially when when they call the PS1 early 3D. But yes, I lived through the very early 3D, the Star Foxes of the world, and the first attempt at virtual racing on the home console with the enhancement chips. I mean, that was early 3D. And then you take a look at stuff on... Wow, that's going to be terrible. Stuff on PC, which would have been like Star Wars X-Wing. Those were amazing graphics back then, but even still, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. But even still, anything the PlayStation, N64, and Saturn can do were leaps and bounds better than that. I always thought TurboGrafx 16 games were weird. Like, could be a baseball, but then it turns into a hot dog food-eating ninja game. Hey, my favorite game on the Atari 7800 to this day is Ninja Golf, for that reason. If you haven't seen me play that, go back and look at my Atari 7800 review. I played Ninja Golf on there, and I just remember that game was a treat. What's great about that game, too, is the story of how I got it. Because I had no idea that was the game that I got, because it was missing the label. It's still... I had to make my own little file folder label for it so I could tell what game it is. Because I got that in a game lot, the person didn't have an Atari 7800 to tell what it is. So I got it for a steal, but it also didn't come with a label. Yep, okay, you already said it. Ninja Golf 7800, I hadn't read down that far. Jaguar and 3DO, early 3D, yeah. Those were also more early 3D, but those were also... I did play a 3DO once as a kid. My brother had one for like a minute and a half. I think he got one on clearance at a garage sale. And I played Gex for the first time on a 3DO. And I remember thinking, what in the world? Oh, I used my one. I still need to get used to this. At least it's out of the bunker. And now I got to do that whole thing again. That was way too hard. And that's the thing, is I didn't even mean to do that. I click once to start it, and then I gotta like click it a whole bunch of times so it's quick. At least it's on the green. Do I get a chance to putt? Probably not. Yeah. Of course. The Sega Uranus. Yeah. I agree with you on the sound chip. The Atari just... They didn't want to... It's not that they didn't keep up with the times, it's that they kind of didn't want to. At the time they made the 7800, Atari's business was more... They were wanting to sell computers more than video game consoles. And that's because the computer guy from the UK, Jack Tramiel, Commodore 64 genius, put more emphasis on that. And really the only reason why they brought it back to begin with, the 7800, was because they had all these unsold units and the video game market started taking off again. So like, oh, let's just clear these things out. I really don't think that it was ever intended to be much of a serious console. And that also explains why they came out with the Atari XE game system, which was, oh, play all your computer games like a game console. So it explains a lot. They were really wanting to go to PCs. They thought computers were going to be their future. And for the most part, they were right. Okay, so I'm looking at the top. I see hole 14, and I thought that's how many strokes I had. Yeah, top loader 3DO. You know what the funny thing is? Yeah, the cheaper version. That's what I have now. I actually got a 3DO. I haven't shown it on the channel yet. But I got a top loader 3DO, but the one I remember as a kid is unfortunately the tray loading one. That's the Panasonic. That's the one my brother had. So eventually I'll probably want to track one of those down because I'm like 2 pixels away from the hole. Double bogey. Wing Commander 3 was amazing on 3DO. I remember that. I played the heck out of that game demo on my computer back in the day. This is another like Wii Sports kind of hole. Let's try it. I'm feeling lucky. Although I really shouldn't because that's going to go in the water. At least it skipped off the water. Where's it going to place me? I'm on the edge of glory. That's going to go over the frickin' hole. I should start saying the Joe Pesci version of swear words on Home Alone. Frickin', 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 frickin'. The Saturn is a very underrated system. I'm looking forward to that too, Paul, in the future. I'm looking forward to playing the Saturn again. Not again. It'll really be my first time playing through it. And that's because... It's the same reason why I enjoy playing the TurboGrafx. It's a system I didn't have as a kid, never played as a kid. But it's going to have those games I'm used to as a kid. So it's going to be... Like I said, a lot of people think it's like reliving your childhood, but really it's just trying to recapture the magic that you had back then, the awe and the wonder. If they were still making new games for the original PlayStation today, I'd probably buy one. Case in point, I bought a brand new NES game that was being kickstarted. Just because I'm like, oh, it's a new NES game, and I can't wait to try it out, because when was the last time I was able to get excited about a new NES game? 7 strokes. Can't even give me a double or triple bogey, or what is that? Yeah, that's a quadruple bogey. Sega Rally screen on the system, yep. Daytona USA was probably the first thing I played on a Saturn after I collected it. I got that, and I got Virtua Fighter, and what was the third game? I picked up 3 games with it. What's another cheap game that's common on the Saturn to get these days? I respect Jack Trammell as a person and a businessman. Holocaust survivor who would inspire you every day. Oh yeah, I'm definitely saying. I said I guess that may have been. I wasn't trying to discredit him. I'll say that. If you interpret it that way, I know most of you guys wouldn't, but I just want to clear it up for thing. I have the utmost respect for Jack Trammell. But I was just trying to explain why the 7800 really wasn't meant to be their flagship product, and why they had so many systems going at a time. But yeah, he'd work every day, every hour. Yeah, his work ethic was something else. I remember hearing about that during the Commodore era, and starting Commodore 64 and all that stuff. So sad that he left before the 128 could get released, and then Commodore didn't really know what to do with it, and the +4. How about a 10-hour live stream? How about hey, if this paid me, if this paid me my full-time income, I would definitely do a 10-hour live stream. I couldn't get it done on vacation though, so I don't know if I could. Is that going to get me to the green? That's going to get me to the green? Oh! How many shots? In 2 shots, this is for birdie. I'm not going to get birdie. I'm already making my mind for that. But at least I might have a chance for par. Playing Ease on the Master System. That would be good. I would definitely need someone to help me through that, because I don't think I've played through the first Ease. I'm trying to think. The first Ease I played was... here's where I'm trying to date it. PlayStation? Don't quote me on that, but I've only played one of them. I can't remember which one it was. Because I was more into Final Fantasy. I played Jade Cocoon on PlayStation. Final Fantasy. Breath of Fire. I played those on the Super Nintendo. So those are more like the RPGs that I've played. Somebody introduced me to the Tales series just recently too. So I haven't played through it yet, but I've collected a couple of them so I can get started on that. But yeah, I would definitely be willing to do that, but RPGs aren't really the biggest view catcher on here. I would appreciate the help. But not only that, it's just kind of weird. It's hard to keep that momentum going for so long, that excitement going enough, because there are some times where I was like, all right, I just want to sit down and I just want to play the game. That's what RPGs are more like for me. Nowhere near the hole, but I'm getting better. I'm just waiting for someone to put that's what she said comment in the thing there. Come hand over the 7800 to use the Poke Sound Chip. Yep, that's right. It's one of only 2 games to do so. The other one is the game that I actually own. Ball Blazer. Yep. Halo 3 would be cool for a live stream because you could play through the whole game in one stream. Oh, if I can remember how to play it. I haven't played Halo 3. I actually haven't played through the single-player mode of that at all. I played multiplayer on that because I didn't own an Xbox 360 back in the day. So, and I've collected it, obviously, but I don't think I played through it all. Cheap Saturn games. Love the Street Fighter, Darkstalkers games. Fun and cheap. Huh, I don't think I played Darkstalkers, but I will definitely keep an eye out for those. Live streaming Golden Axe Warrior would be more ideal for a Master System. It's about a 2 or 3 hour game all the way through. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility, is what I'll say. I feel like that's going to mess me over. Yep. I like how it gives you at least a little bit of a chance. If you're close to the water's edge, the ball skips off of it and at least gets you close. And this is going to go... Oh! Saved by the tree. Thank goodness. Alright. I have no idea how hard to hit this ball. Yep, that's too. Whatever that was too hard. And so I need to do it a less than that, which means I'm going to get. See, and it's because I screwed up so bad. On the green at least? Nope. I just keep shooting on opposite sides of the green. That's still too hard. Can I just get out my putter? Can I just putt from here? Oh, how much would you have laughed if I would have made it in? So whenever I get close to the green, I'm just going to have to putt it from there. Wherever she lies. Oh. Not enough mustard or too much mustard? It is incredibly hard to tell how hard to hit this ball in certain spots. That was the maximum. The next one was going to be a give up anyway. I should have just went for the gold. Ion Storm for Xbox One. Oh yeah, I heard somebody talking about that. Is that supposed to be a spiritual successor to Duke Nukem? Looks great, plays like a great looking Saturn game. Retro, polygonal, 3D. See, that's a style I didn't expect to see. I didn't think people would make a retro looking 3D polygon game like they do with like retro sprite games. Then again, I didn't expect something like Minecraft where it's 3D polygons, but they use like the low res textures on everything. Take Rampage on the 7800 over the NES version, all 3 characters in the Atari version. I can't remember where my thoughts lied on that because it's been so long since I played it, but I think I remember liking the Rampage. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Look at how much I'm getting excited about. This is the last hole, too, so I gotta make... This is my last chance. Gotta show you I'm not completely incompetent at video games. Come on, get over. There we go. It's actually taking a while to get through a hole of golf. Part of it is the camera panning, I guess. Let's see what we can do. That's going to be terrible. Terrible. As Shaquille O'Neal would say, no, is it Charles Barkley? As Charles Barkley would say, oh, it's terrible. Yes, it's a female Duke Nukem. I thought I'd heard about that game. I don't think I've picked it up yet or grabbed it. Is that digital only, physical? Now watch, I'm going to hit it perfectly. Oh. You know what I should do? I'm going to try this just because it's the last hole anyway, and it looks like I'm not going to make it to the end. Let's do this. Yes! Curve the shot. Okay, so, because I keep screwing up so badly, I need to figure out a better way of hitting it. It looks like I can curve my shot. I knew that was going to the tree. So now my goal is to get on the green, skip the bunker. Come on, get on the green. Don't go over. All right, I'm getting my putter out. We're going to putt from here. 91-yard putt. Let's do this. I'm on the green, 12 yards. I putted for 80 yards, just about. It's coming back at me, and if I hit too hard, it's going to go off into the other side. Let's try this. Okay. Somewhat of a success. It's my 14th shot. I think this is the last one before it lets me give up. Come on. Yes! Just digitally, I think? Okay, so I'll have to look at that. This is one of those games, too. Whenever I play a game that's bright green, every time I look back at the screen, everything looks off-colored. Double Dragon on the 2600 was ambitious? Yes. That is to say the least. See, you say, could they have developed a 2-button thing? Look at that. 87, that's my result. Wow. Atari 7800, the best arcade ports. Yeah, but the problem is most of those arcade ports were from like the early 80s. Like, I liked not Galaxian, the game that's like it, Galaga. I like Galaga on there. That was great. But who in 1988 would have been thinking, hey, Galaga, that's the game, that's the arcade game I want at home? I would have been thinking, no, I want Contra. I want, gosh, what else was in the arcade? I guess games like Pole Position probably would have lived up at that point in time, and that was a good experience on the Atari. I do agree with that. I want to check out a fun, cheap Saturn games. Check out Fighters Mega Mix, but be warned, get a North American copy sooner than later, starting to increase in value. Oh, that's everything with the Saturn. But yes, thank you. I will take a look at that. I will see if I already have it, because believe it or not, it's hard for me to keep track of everything I've already collected. But yes, Fighters Mega Mix. Is that, let's look that up. Let's see if I got it. Mega Mix. See, I've seen that game before, but I kept thinking that it was like, isn't it like Virtua Fighter? I thought it was just another version of Virtua Fighter. Fighting video game. Video game crossover of various 3D arcade blockbusters from Sega. Oh, okay, so it has the complete cast of Virtua 2 and Fighting Vipers? That's interesting. Janet from Virtua Cop 2. And the Hornet car from Daytona, USA. Alright, now I'm intrigued. Why haven't I not heard of this game before? Okay, yeah, it says it combines characters from Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers, yeah. That's interesting. I have the Japanese version of Fighting Vipers because the North American version just skyrocketed in price, as you said. Oops, I'm not capturing that. So here's my scorecard. I got... Yeah, that timing just never got any better, did it? Plus 108. Okay. So that's interesting. That's Power Golf, so. I'm going to start this real quick while I'm getting the next game ready. Let's see. I'm very curious about what the computer does here. Let's just do normal. I'm not going to put my real name, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Computer. So it looks like a store could have set this up as a demo. That's why I'm wondering if the computer could just start playing itself. So here's what the computer thinks not an amateur player, but an experienced player would look like playing this game. I'm just very curious to see what a decent hole looks like on this game. We're not going to play through the whole 18 holes, though. Definitely not going to do that. Well, thanks, Joe. I appreciate you stopping by. I will definitely take a look at... I don't know if you had recommended that arcade thing to me or not. I appreciate you stopping by. You have a good night. Yes, I do have I have Sonic Fighters on GameCube through the Gems collection. Yep. Tell you the truth, I can't find my. I remember I was trying to find that for a video the other day. I guess it's been a couple weeks now. I was trying to find the Sonic's Mega Collection for the GameCube, and the only one I could find was the Gems collection. Cannot for the life of me remember what I was going to do with it, but. Oh yeah, Paul, I'm right there with you. That's that hurts. 250 Sega Saturn games. Did you keep the boxes with them too, and the manuals and everything pristine? See, even the computer's having trouble. But look, every time the computer swings, oh my gosh. So this would be a game that back in the day I would get my money's worth out of it because I would play the heck out of it trying to perfect my timing. I would spend so long trying to do that. Otherwise, it's not really an advanced golf game. Oh, another thing I don't like is it doesn't have the modern convenience of changing the club automatically. Yeah, see, that's just, it's showing he's barely messing up on the swings. That is not my experience. The bad thing is, the frustrating thing about it is, I guess I don't want to say bad, but the frustrating thing about it is the fact that that timing is very hard to master. See, when he hits a tree, he doesn't go out of bounds. It's going to start making me mad here. It had all the manuals and discs and case and everything. Yeah, yeah. I had a not a similar experience, but I did have a let's call it a life lesson, if you will. My parents were always wanting to teach me about financial responsibility when I was a kid, and I admit, as a parent, I would probably do the same thing. But I've told this story before, but if you've heard it, stop me. But yeah. I just got an eagle and didn't notice. This is not me playing, Mackenzie. I'm letting the computer play for a little bit because I want to see what a good player looks like at this game. But yes, I didn't notice because I wasn't paying attention to it as much. And look, just got a bogey. We're not going to play through the whole thing. I just want to see what a good hole looks like. I know, wouldn't that be weird? I'm not even looking at the screen, and all of a sudden I'm just golfing. But anyway, my story about the Sega Saturn thing is, I had $20, which I had saved up for my allowance. I'm not going to let you know the year, but let's just say we just gotten the PlayStation 1. I remember that because that was one of the reasons why my parents didn't want me to get this other thing. But somebody had a Sega Saturn with around 80 to 100 games, all complete in the box. Some of the games, it had all of the Sonic games, including Sonic's Sonic Jam, Sonic Racing, and Sonic R Racing, and hold on, it's a 3D Blast, and it had like, I couldn't tell you if it had Panzer Dragoon Saga or anything, but they had it for $35. I only had 20, so I asked my parents, hey, can I get an advance on my allowance and buy this game console? $15, that's all we were talking. And they said no, because I didn't have enough money. So I'm like, all right, I understand that a little bit. But they did say if it's still there at the end of the day when they came back through town, then I could grab it. And of course, somebody else had picked it up. $35, system complete, 2 controllers. One of them was the 3D pad. That's how I knew that thing existed. Yeah, around 80 to 100 games. That's my memory, so I don't really remember for sure. But I did remember specifically that it had all the Sonic games. That's why I wanted to get it. Back in 1999, 2000, somewhere in there. And yeah, let's just say I enjoy bringing that up from time to time. Like, hey, remember when I had to pay like literally 400 times the amount to recollect these games? I still don't have. I maybe have 20 to 30 games that are complete in box. The rest of them are loose or the Japanese version. I have a life lesson for people. I let my bank account when I was 16 go into overdraft just to buy a game. Don't do younger Mackenzie. Young Mackenzie was stupid. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I wasn't even the worst. I didn't think I was the worst at it, but yeah, I mean, it was a valuable lesson. Obviously, I mean, but it did teach me 2 different things. It taught me, number one, be more financially responsible. Make sure you save up enough money. You never know what's going to come across that you're going to need to spend the money for. But the other thing it taught me was, if I see something, I need to make sure I pull the trigger on it right then and there, because you never know what the future's going to bring, and is it going to cost you more money later. Sadly, I've never been able to find. Well, I don't want to say never. Sadly, I haven't been able to find like anything Saturn related ever again. Like, I've never seen it at a garage sale since that one time. Because if I found a game at a garage sale, most likely I would remember, number one, but number two, I would buy it. Because most likely it's going to be cheaper than eBay stuff. So that comes down to how many of you out there actually thrift in garage sales? I know I'm letting this thing go. We'll finish hole 9, and then I'm going to switch games. I actually got to figure out which game I'm going to play next. Ha! It's not so easy. It is a computer. I'm getting spiteful this early. Oh, that's an interesting game. Oops, nope, I skipped one. All right. You know what? We still haven't even, out of all the games I've played to date, I still have not left 1989. I played a couple of games from the end of the lifespan. I played Magical Chase, which I think was the last Hue card released. If not, it's very close to the very last one. I played that game on a previous stream just because I wanted to change it up a little bit. But yeah, the rest of the games I played have been from 1989, from the launch year. And if I'm right, tonight we'll get through to 1990. I'm not going to play them all in order, but I'm just playing. I wanted to get a note of what would have come out back at this time, and this game would probably have been my favorite back in the day. I like golf games now more than I did back then. I would have thought it was kind of weird, but once I played it, I would have got used to it. Yeah, how many of you out there actually are able to do? Oh, that's hole 10. Are actually able to. Let me switch games here. Can I finish a thought for a second? How many of you out there actually do garage sales and are able to find games at garage sales? Or anything other than video game thrift stores, pawn shops, and eBay. Not retail stores. How many of you are able to find stuff like that? And if you found something, let me know what you found. Like, what is your equivalent of... Because I do have... I guess I should say this. I have found games that I am very lucky to have found. So I guess I can go the opposite with it and show that. What is this game called? Starts with an N. By the way, I also re-alphabetized the game so I can find them easier. I put them in folders. That's interesting. I don't have the first one, but I have the sequel. And the sequel one is actually the Japanese version. So we're going to play the Japanese sequel rather than the original for this next one. I'm going to catch up on comments here real quick. Start this game up. So this one's actually going to be a PC Engine game. You guys might be able to hear the music already starting in the background. Let's change this image and then we'll start on the chat. So this is Motor Rotor 2. For some reason, I have the Hue card over there, but I didn't get the ROM for Motor Rotor, so I'm using my EverDrive still, so I don't have to switch games. And this has been working out very well, by the way. I only came across one game I couldn't get to work right away. And if I'm right, this game was exclusive to the PC Engine. So we didn't get the sequel here in the US. It's got a catchy little theme song. Come on. There we go. So this is Motor Rotor 2. This is exclusive to the PC Engine. I have the Hue card of this one as well because it's exclusive to Japan. And I also own a PC Engine. So, and again, I find it especially thrilling that this is also playing on my TurboGrafx. You got games like Burning Rangers and Panzer Dragoon Saga. I definitely feel for you, man. But I would say don't regret it too much. I mean, honestly, I think I would have done the same thing back in the day, because up until I was able to purchase my house, I didn't have the room to store a lot of this stuff. So, like my N64 collection, I actually collected for the N64 when the Wii came out, when I lived at home with my parents, and I bought an N64 because of it, and I started playing N64 games. But because I didn't have any room when I moved out, I sold it all, and I had to recollect all this stuff again. And it was about twice as expensive the second time around. But I mean, that was part of it. I sold some of that stuff off so I can buy my PS4. You know, it was just things like that. Sold your beloved NES collection of over 40 games, most complete unboxed. See, Tex, that's a weird situation too. I guess not weird, but unique situation, because how many people had complete in-box NES games? I'll tell you what, we didn't even own 40 games. We owned about 9 games for the NES. Maybe it was 7. Somewhere between that number total for the entire time we had the NES, because they were very expensive, and none of the boxes survived. I think my brothers just threw them away. None of the manuals, we didn't have anything. We just had, some of them didn't even have the sleeve. So we just had the cartridges, and of course we had to blow into them every time to make them work. Not me. Thrift stores have better selection and prices too. Okay, so that's good that you're able to get some stuff there. Did similar things with your NES about 95, had loads of stuff to go with it. Yeah. See, and that's weird. So on the flip side of that, I guess I'll start the game while I'm telling you this. On the flip side of that, so you said you sold a whole bunch of stuff back for a cheap price back in the day, but I'm sure that was a decent price for it back then. I don't want to put my name in, so we're just going to... But on the flip side of that, right now, I've been doing a lot of collecting for the Wii, the Xbox 360, and the PS3, because prices for that... Oh, and the PSP. Prices for those are at an all-time low. Nobody is collecting for those consoles. And it's not because I want to collect because I know the value is going to increase in the future. I'm collecting because I want some of these games now, and I know the value is only going to go up when I try to buy them in the future. So, like I said, I'm not buying to resell them. I'm buying because they're cheap now, and I'm having a lot of fun going back through some of those games. In fact, here's a game that I bought when the Vita came out. It was never really cheap, but when I got my Vita back in 2015, I've shown this before, Persona 4 Golden, I was shocked when I found out that this is going for nearly $100 on eBay. Or at least it's listed for that. I don't know if that's what it's selling for now. I don't know what's going on here. At least I'm glad all this stuff is in English. There we go. Yeah. That seem right? Sure. Like I said, don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so if you guys are looking for car, tank, or hover, I don't get it. I just want to race. I have no idea what all this is, but I'm going for it. Okay. The controls of this are interesting. Whoops. Okay. So I put my car down, and every time I do, I fall back. Am I supposed to be hovering like this? I feel like I'm supposed to be down here. Alright, that button is doing something. Oh, what's this doing? I finally... So this is my acceleration button. I feel like I should have went with hovercraft. What just... I feel like I can't keep up. I'm out. I'm already out. I'm very confused about what I'm supposed to be doing. Huh. Anyone else play this game and see something I was doing wrong there? At first I thought I was racing when I was actually hovering over the field. I'm going to try this again. Found a copy of SSX Tour for the GameCube. Gave you Hot Wheels on the GameCube for free because you couldn't get rid of it. No one was buying it. Yep, at a garage sale. See, I like garage sales because of two things. Number one, I can get it for cheap. But number two, even the sellers just, I mean, it's trash to them. Chances are they would throw it away, or if they haven't taken it to GameStop. And by the way, GameStop throws away a lot of games. One of the reasons why I have a problem with them, but I guess I can't keep them on the shelves forever. But rather than discount them and give them out for the games people don't want, they just throw them in the dumpster and then they guard their dumpster. So, not that I've tried to grab anything out of their dumpster. If you don't go back to the early 80s, 80s, 81, then you're not retro. Hey, Phil, Office T. Welcome to the stream. Oh, yes. It's the Japanese art style there. Buying up Xbox 360 games cheap too. 360 your favorite console. Well, 360 was, again, a system I didn't own while it was their main console. So, yeah, I'm very happy to play some of the games on there that I never got a chance to. And I think if you guys have mentioned Metal Jesus before, he just did an essential guide for games to buy for the Xbox 360. So, not an essential guide, but if you got it. What did I just do? There we go. I want hover. Okay. Let's see if I can figure this out again. And also a bunch of video game rental stores around my area, because yes, those still exist in my area. Those are still, there we go. There we go. Okay. So, not as bad as auto racing on the Intellivision, but about that style. Oops. The weird thing is you just gotta drop your... But to tell you the truth, I'm not really a big fan of... Okay, I like that. Oops. I like that I'm able to float over some cars. Oops, that's not working. I don't like how there's... If I fall behind, there's really... It looks like no way for me to catch up. Unless I'm not doing something right. So that guy hit me. Twice. I'm not a big fan of this. It's not that... Maybe not necessarily the controls, the graphics maybe not appealing, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not having fun playing it. I mean, forget how I don't know what the controls... The controls I figured out, the accelerate button was kind of hard to figure out for a little while. It just feels like I'm auto-scrolling. Maybe that's it, because it doesn't feel like I'm racing. I feel like I'm just trying to navigate through a... And like I said, it's like the cars are moving on without me, and I keep falling behind the challenges. It doesn't feel like a racing game. Yeah. I don't know how to describe this game other than, yeah, I didn't care for that. I don't care for the way it's set up. I'm not usually a big fan of top-down racers to begin with, although they can be done well. It's just, yeah, it's just strange that, yeah, it's just, like I said, it feels like an auto-scrolling level. I don't like how when I can't keep up, the camera doesn't follow me, it follows the other players. So, maybe arcadey in that sense, but if this is the way the first Motor Rotor is, I wouldn't care for it. Wish Sega would make a Sega Saturn Mini. Hey, if they can get a Sega Saturn on a chip unit, that would be an awesome thing. But I think that the Sega's probably going to rely on someone else to make it for them, just like they did with the, what's that new console out there that's supposed to play Sega Saturn games. That's probably the best we're going to hope for at the moment. Having EB Games near your house still? I thought EB Games went under. Instead of throwing out the games, they donate them to a children's hospital nearby. Okay, so I guess I shouldn't speak for GameStop. They could be doing that. That'd be a great idea. In fact, the reason why I think that someplace around us does that is because I was at a retro game store over the weekend, and there was a person, they were talking to me, they decided to tell me about, they bought a game that was from a hospital in the area. Like their children's wing, I guess, got rid of it again after it was donated to them. It's an older game, so that makes sense. But yeah, that's yeah, I see that again. So yeah, that's weird. Odo Medius is excellent on the 360. I'll have to keep an eye out for it. Like I said, as people are clearancing them out, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not going to keep playing this because, again, I'm not having fun playing it. My initial impression is I won't be back to this game. Kind of sad, because I like racing games, but I don't like this one. Let's go back to... I need to make this more obvious where this is. Right there. So that was Motor Rotor 2. Like I said, not the biggest fan of that style. I don't think that holds up well today. You live in Canada to see EB Games? Okay, so maybe that's... But GameStop is worldwide, right? Or is that just GameStop owns the EB Games label outside of the US? I don't know if I finished telling my story before this. I was very distracted by the poor game I was playing. Here's a game I have high expectations for. Let's see what this game is. It's got two different names. There we go. And this is the right name. Turn on the capture device. Get ready to switch back to the stream. And, excuse me. So this is a game I have high expectations for. And if you notice, that says it's a Capcom title. There weren't too many other third parties that supported the TurboGrafx, if I remember correctly. And yes, the reason why I'm excited for it is because it's a side-scrolling shooter, but I'm not sure. Is this game exclusive to the TurboGrafx? It says Radiant Software, but I think that's who developed it, and I think Capcom published. Yeah. Oh no, it's the other way around. Developed by Capcom and published. Well, I guess Capcom should have published it too. I don't know why Radiant Software is on there. This was released for a variety of systems, but in terms of game consoles, it also got a PC Engine CD-ROM release. I'll have to take a look for that. Yeah, this is the only game console that got it. Commodore 64 had it, the ZX Spectrum had it, DOS, the Amstrad, the Atari ST, and the Amiga all got ports of this game, but this is the only, this is the only console port I see out there. Let me change that image here real quick. So you guys don't think I'm still playing Motor Racer. Come on. Sometimes when I click, it doesn't do what I want it to. So this is called Sidearms or Hyperdyne Sidearms, or just Hyperdyne, depending on the region you're in. It's a hard game, but a good game. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it keeps me coming back for more. A lot of the shooter games I found on this game so far that I've played have been hard. The Magical Chase game seemed a bit more balanced, but it wasn't as straightforward of a shooter as I thought it was going to be. Still good, just there were some quirks there. All right, so it looks like it's just doing the same demo, right? Push the run button. Let's take a look. Nothing quite like the screen flashing they would do back then. And was that acceptable due to the battle for survival has started? Was that due to like animes at the time? Whoa. What? Why do I keep turning? Oh, that's why. Hang on. Okay, so I'm just gonna waste all my lives here. I'm not gonna continue. So I found out if the one button shoots in one direction, the two button actually shoots in a different direction. So I'm gonna restart this because I just wasted 3 lives trying to figure that out. Alright. There we go. And this is another game where I really... Oh! What the world happened there? Alright, let's turn on the turbo. Turbo is definitely appreciated in this game. I cannot imagine this system not having a turbo controller, especially because all the games they put on here. It's the cow. Don't have a cow, man. Oh, that follows me. Okay, I can shoot it out of the sky at least. I like this gun. I don't know. Oh! Shooting in all directions now. I like that. I'm assuming this is only a temporary power-up. So I like that I like that my guy is very fast from the get-go. I definitely like that. Yeah, it looks like I'm losing some shots. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. It's because I only have turbo on 1. I don't have it on 2. So this seems almost like cheating. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's definitely not cheating. We're definitely going to continue that. Oh. Man, the death zones in this game are very tough. Let's say the hit zone on that is very tight. I hear thunder crackling up back up there. I'm going to pause that for a second. Oh, I don't know what those options are, but it looks like I can change my speed. And that must be changing the gun. I'm going to keep whatever I've got here. If I remember, select change weapons when you get them. Yep, that's what I'm figuring out here. It looks like I only switched between 2 of them. I'm okay with this. Whoops. It's like every time I go out to get the weapons, I die. Weapons or power-ups or anything. Man. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a learning curve with the shooting in front of me and behind me. Oh. That is hard to get. That's how quick it happens. I'm already dead. That's an interesting one. I'm going to go through this again, but I doubt I'm going to get much farther. This is tough. This was a good weekend rental for me. Repetitive action. I guess there's no way to save really in any of these games. That's interesting. Oh, because it was a CD game. Is there a save function on ease? There shouldn't be any possible way I should be able to beat that in one sitting. See, like I said, with each playthrough, I get a little bit better. Gosh, this is so much better when you have a turbo. I'm thinking of games like R-Type and... yeah. Oh, sheesh. Well, that one's okay, but man, that's going to get me killed. What's this one? This one's really slow. Don't like that one. I like this one the best. So I've tried switching weapons, but each time I thought I was going to die. Is it, what do I have to do to get an extra life around here? Okay, so I think this is going to be where I want this thing, right? But I already lost it. Man. Ah, see, and all I want to do is switch guns. But oh no, can't do that. Those homing missiles should be cheating, and he still got me. Nope, can't do anything there. I'm almost out of lives already. And I don't have any other gun. This is not good. How did I shoot like 4 shots at him and I still didn't get him? I was going to say, can I shoot these things out of the air? Because if I can't, I'm dead. What I don't like is, man, I shot like 40 shots at him. I'm already, as I said, I'm already dead. Yep, and that is too much to go through that one more time. So yeah, that is something that is a bit harder than I want to do in the stream. So it's, man, that's interesting. I wonder how many levels are in this game. Yeah. Shut the capture card off. Interesting lineup for 1989. This is still, like I said, part of the, I guess, launch cycle, but not part of the launch lineup. We've only got 2 more games from 1989, and both of them are sports games, so this should go very quickly. But unfortunately, that might be where I have to end it for tonight, after I get these next 2 games. So let me go ahead and get the image loaded up first, and then I'll switch out the game. As I don't have as much time tonight as I have on other nights because, as I said, I'm back to work now, so schedule's taken up with other things. My favorite Xbox 360 game thus far? That's a good question. You know what? I'll tell you the one I played the most on there. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it has to do because it was actually one of my favorite games to play on PC back in the day. And that was, oops, wrong one. There it is. My favorite game to play back in the day on PC was Serious Sam. And the Xbox version is very good. They did the HD remakes of the first encounter, the second encounter, and Serious Sam 3. And I really like playing that game on there. You had not, Tex? Alright, have a good night. Unless I missed 2 setup. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oops, where's my controller? Let's go back. And the next game we're going to do is... World Class Baseball. So we have a couple sports titles we got to get through here. Sorry if the sound of the game seems pretty soft. Just going to... Let's see, can we just do... I just want to show this off. I don't really want to play it. Oops, let's go turn the turbos off. Player 1 versus player 2. Do you have to... Can you play this... Sure. Hoping that you can do this with without having a second player. Am I controlling both at the same time? I think I am. Somehow I gotta reset this thing. This is very interesting. I don't know how I did this. Oh, how was that a strike? I'm striking myself out. Another foul ball. Okay. Maybe I'm not controlling this as much as I thought I was. I'm just gonna wait. Yeah. Yeah, see, this one I can't get... This is I don't know how I did that, but somehow I'm playing myself. Let's go ahead and restart this game. Oops. So that must have been versus mode. Open mode, pennant mode, watch mode. Let's do watch mode. Computer versus computer. Okay, so that's what it was. Is that because I didn't have the TurboTap plugged in? I didn't have the game splitter. I'm wondering how I did that. Let's do the Bears versus the Fries. Watch through an inning and we'll see. We'll take bets on who's going to be winning on this one. I'm going to tell you, for a generic sports game, the controls seem very well set up, at least, or very simply set up. I don't want to say well set up. But I often think that sports games are best played with 2 people, not just by yourself against the computer. I've never really found it fun to play against the computer on sports games. That's why I like games like golf, where you don't have to play against someone else. Madden's okay, I guess. Tennis can be, but again, the home run? Oh, you got robbed. All right. So I guess we've already talked about a few systems that we've had here. What are you guys playing lately? I'll tell you what, before I started the stream, I actually took a little bit because I try to at least once a day log into Animal Crossing, just so I can get my bonus miles. But what are you guys all playing besides that? We talked about some Xbox 360, but I guess I've been collecting for it, but I haven't really been playing it too much. I did say Serious Sam was not my favorite on there, but it is a good game to have on there. I really like that game. I don't know if I like playing it better on there or the PC, but that's the only version I own for the HD remakes that they did. And to tell you the truth, the first Xbox, like I said, the first Xbox that I owned was only about a year and a half ago, and it was the Xbox One, so I haven't really played too many Xbox 360 games. And to tell you the truth, I haven't played too many games on the Xbox One either. I've been finding games cheaply. There were a lot of stores clearing out like the ones that people don't want or the ones they don't think are going to be valuable or hang around much longer. But, I mean, honestly, it was kind of good to get a base of those so I can play some games on there. The last game I played on there was probably WWE 2K19, not 2K20. That was a game somebody was clearancing out, but that game will probably be... That game will probably live up more than 2K20 does. So we didn't have any runs scored in that one, or did we? Oh, we had 1 and 2. Okay, yep. There we go. First inning, 2 runs scored. The Bears are leading. How are the Fries going to do in this one? Oh, you can hit people in this game. That's interesting. I often like how they would expect people to have like store demos. Could you imagine walking into like Walmart or Target or one of your not superstores, department stores, and seeing this game on a TV and just like, oh, I want to try playing this game. I gotta say, when I played it, even though I was controlling 2 people at once, which I found strange that it would let me do that. I guess, yeah, it has to do... Oh, that's a fly ball. Okay, it's nice that it has the shadow. So, I'm trying not to make a judgment on it yet, because I am going to have to go back and play this a bit more regularly. I just want to see what it's supposed to look like, know what I can do in the game, and then maybe we'll be able to play an inning of this. That's one thing I don't like about the computer playing is bases are loaded. Come on, home run. Only 1 strike, and that's what I don't like about this. He keeps throwing. It's almost like the computer gets stuck in a loop. Yeah. 3 pitches to third before it pitches. Oh, they did get a run on. Fries are catching up to the Bears. Am I going to get Ghost of Tsushima for PS4? Tell you the truth, I was unaware of that game's existence until I saw, I call it the game rumor reports, talking about how the game has been delayed. Oh, second run. How the game's been delayed or whatnot. I honestly don't know much about the game, to tell you the truth, except for it's been in the news lately. I rarely, if ever, get a game at launch. So it's, like I said, gamer on a budget kind of thing. I don't know if it's been delayed then, but it's definitely coming out there. Let's see, open world to explore for players. Yeah, I'll tell you, while the game looks intriguing, it says action-adventure stealth game from a third-person perspective. I'm actually reading up on it now because, like I said, I didn't really know much about it, except for I should be excited for it, is what I've been hearing. Sucker Punch did that one? Okay, now I am intrigued now. I'm reading up on it a little bit as we're catching up here. I like how the crowd is very well developed here. Because the last game I remember them doing was Infamous. Probably Second Son, or whatever that DLC spin-off game they did was of that. And I really did like Sucker Punch's Infamous games. I don't know how well they did. They haven't made one in a while, so I'm assuming that's something. Yeah. It looks intriguing to me, but I'm not quite sure if it's something I'm going to go out and get day one. It says it's open world. Is it supposed to be played mainly online, and you play against other people online, or are you supposed to be able to... I said mode single player, so I don't see a multiplayer on there. I would say it looks intriguing, but I'm not sure I'm going to go out and get it day one, is what I'm going to say. It's not one of those games where I feel like I absolutely have to have it. It's a new franchise, so I also have to see, too. It's a proven game developer, though. I do like Sucker Punch Productions. Their games have been... I've played all of the Infamous games. What else have they done? Oh, that's right. They did the Sly Cooper series. I was wondering... there was something else, too, but I couldn't think of it. They did the ones on the PlayStation 2. And yeah, that's it. They did Infamous on PS3. I've never heard of Festival of Blood. That must have been a DLC only download. Yep, standalone adventure, action-adventure standalone downloadable content. I thought that Infamous would be a good game to keep going with going forward, and I would really like to see one made for the PS5. I doubt we're going to see it now that it looks like they're switching game franchises again. And to tell you the truth, based on the timeline of their games, it looks like we only got a third Infamous game because they were going to release it close to the launch of the PS4 anyway. Yeah, interesting. So I think the last game I bought at launch, I'm trying to think, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was the last one I bought at launch. And it was the first one in a long time that I remember getting at launch. I have no problem waiting for a game because it's partially too, like right now in the summer is the time where I have to play games. And look how many games I have to play. So there's not really too much I need to do in terms of new modern gaming. Alright, that's about enough for the computer though. That's World Class Baseball. Again, I'm not really the biggest fan of sports games, but let's go ahead and switch away from a sports game and do a game I actually want to play. And this will be where I end it tonight. This will be the last game I play. I have to say that the alphabetized folders is working out a lot better than the having them all in one folder and just alphabetizing them there. This is actually one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. It's just on a different console than I'm used to playing it on. And this is the first of the games I can see released in 1990. I don't think that this is actually in order anymore, but this game is actually called Sokoban. At least it's normally called that. Or it's normally called that in the US. Boxy Boy on the TurboGrafx. File not connected, copy the password. I don't know what file not connected means, but okay. Let me get the box art changed over. Oh, I never changed over to World Class Baseball, did I? I didn't change the box art for that. I downloaded it, but I didn't change it over. What was I thinking? Oops. It's a very bright 1990s-ish looking box cover there. So let's go ahead and push run. Let's see what this is. I don't have any passwords. We're just going to do the one from the start. And hopefully the controls are self-evident. Oh, and of course, this is the American version, so we have to have the American flag. What did I think of Final Fantasy VII Remake? I'm trying to give it time before I give my full opinion, but I'll tell you this. My initial impression was a great game. I don't really feel that it is as much of a remake, because I think a remake means they're trying to make it as close to the original as possible, or they're saying it's not a remaster, they're really remaking the game, as I guess their logic, but it really is a reimagining. It is following the same story, but the gameplay, like I said, the story follows almost exactly to a T, but it's really long and drawn out. So you're very well aware that you're only playing through the first third of a game. And that kind of turned me off of it a little bit. But I felt like it was a good game. I really do. I mean, the story was moving at a snail's pace because they were trying to, hey, we got a password already. So, I like how his face turns red every time he pushes a box. That doesn't happen in the Sokoban I'm used to playing. So yeah, I would say if you like the original Final Fantasy VII, there's still a reason for you to go back and play that one. Let's just say that, because it is gameplay-wise a lot different than the new Final Fantasy VII. They also upgraded the Final Fantasy VII. I mean, obviously graphics and everything, but I mean they really fleshed out the world a lot more than they did before, and it really felt like you were playing through a modern Final Fantasy game with already knowing the story in advance. And then there was a twist at the end I don't want to ruin for anyone. Well, this is interesting. Hang on a second, I gotta figure this one out. There's a twist at the end I don't want to ruin for anyone, but I feel like I've already messed up. Yep, that did it. Let's retry. Okay, I have to move that over here. Okay. We're getting there. Figuring this out. Music in this one's not too bad. So yeah, if that answers your question, I liked the game, but in terms of comparing it to the first Final Fantasy VII, I don't think there's much of a comparison except for with story. Like I said, gameplay's been updated. It plays more like a modern game, but Final Fantasy VII Classic Edition, if you like the turn-based strategy thing of it better, you're still going to want to go back and play that instead. And so if they were trying to recreate it without destroying the original, then yeah, that was a good thing. I was very surprised that I got 40 hours of gameplay out of it, and there were some times where you can really tell they're just trying to bloat this game up. I mean, they were really just trying to get more out of squeezing blood out of a turnip, I guess is the expression. They really. I guess overall, an enjoyable experience. To put it this way, I liked it better than Final Fantasy 15. And that could be my nostalgia talking, but really, as I said, it's a completely different thing. Final Fantasy 15 really felt like you had an open world adventure part of it, and you had a story part of it, but they weren't interconnected. It felt like two separate games. So if you guys haven't figured out, the point of this game is to basically just push boxes and... that's interesting. I have to retry. You can't pull boxes. You can only push them. That is interesting. There we go. So it kind of creates a strategy where you have to figure out how you're going to get all the boxes into the end zone. I personally enjoy this game as a strategy game. I tell you the truth, I've never played this version, so the puzzles are a little bit different. I think this came out for Game Boy. Oh yeah, I do remember this one, but I don't remember how to beat it. You may skip this one. The only thing I remember is that you can't... Yep, I've already messed up. Let's give up on that one. And I think up until there's a certain amount of stages you can unlock if you can figure it out, so you don't get stuck on one. That was always one of my favorite things in Sokoban. Oops. I skipped out a whole bunch of stages all of a sudden. I already messed up. Well, maybe I didn't mess up already. We're going to move that there. Okay, now I've messed up because, yeah. I am very curious. I don't see a way around that. That way? That sounds about right. Okay. So yeah, it's just a matter of taking some time to figure it out. And of course, these early puzzles, you figure out one way and then you can get all the rest of the pieces in. But in the later puzzles, it becomes a lot harder to do that. Oh no, I messed up. I should have moved this box over before I put it down. At least the music is, oh, maybe I... Yeah, I'm still messing up for some reason. What am I doing wrong? Besides everything. That's how you do it. Well, this is one way to do it. Because I gotta get this box over here. So like I said, the later puzzles will get a lot harder than this. I'm just doing the first few because that's the earlier one. Stage clear, password is cable. I like how they're all 5-letter words. I wonder how many 5-letter words I can come up with. Okay. I think I already done messed up, Aaron. I don't want to push that one. No, I didn't mess up. This is definitely the first move. But then this one has to be moved. Yeah, now those two are locked. Let me try that again. Nope, can't do that. I'm kind of stuck on this one. You know what? It's probably that. And this goes in here. See, I was trying to think of which one I should move next. As I said, for a puzzle game, not too bad. But anyway, that is Boxy Boy / Sokoban, and that's actually, oh, we got a thank you for that one. Stage 8 cleared, and password is route. So if I wanted to pick this up next time, we can. But that said, that's actually going to wrap it up for my stream this time. As I said, I had to shorten it up because I'm back to work, so not as much time for streaming. But I do hope that everyone that did tune in tonight enjoyed it. It seemed like we had some good discussion starting out there at the beginning. Like I said, hopefully next time I'll be able to give you some more notice before I'm able to stream. It's just this week I knew was going to be 50-50. Actually, it was less than 50-50 odds. I actually was able to get ahead on some work otherwise so I can start my stream. But as said, I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for tuning in. On Thursday, I have a new video coming out as usual. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it is that I'm working on. Hang on. Let me look that up. Oh, it's going to be going. It's a micro review that I'm working on. That's the last time. I just loaded up my timeline here. It's a micro review that I'm working on, but it's a game that I think a lot of you will enjoy. So another kind of return to form thing. The reason why it's a micro review is because I'm finishing up work on my Ultimate Sega 32X review. I think if all goes well, I should have that come out in about the next. Should be ready by next week. At least part 1 will be. If I can get part 1 done, part 2 is almost done. Part 3 needs some work, but yeah. It's going to be a 3-part series is what it's looking like, which is why I'm about ready to release it. So this week I got a micro review coming out. Game will be determined on, will be shown on Thursday. And then the week after, it looks like the 32X review is coming along, so we're almost done there. So again, I want to thank you. So this game came out for the Genesis as Shove It, the warehouse game. Yes, I have it on there too, and I played it on there. So maybe we'll do a comparison if we have to do like a 16-bit war with this. Huh? That's some pre-planning ahead, isn't it? But again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to check out that video on Thursday. If not, maybe I'll see you around next Tuesday for another stream. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Have a great night.